So, hey, good morning, everybody. It's a great day, and I just want to thank you for joining in today. I want to flush out another thought. I got a call the other day, and it was one of those annoying calls. I need you guys to pray for me. I'm practicing this God walk. I haven't mastered anything. So it's certain things, like everybody else, that gets up under your skin. And I was talking to somebody, and uh, you talk to somebody and they're just stuck in a time frame, whereas they're always repeating themselves or repeating what happened in the past, or memorializing things that shouldn't be memorialized, and uh, everything resorts back to that time no matter when you talk to them. And it starts to get up under your skin because, like, okay, we talked about it. I'll let you flush it out. I'm listening. I'm being considerate of where you are. But, why are we still talking about this? I mean, how many times are we going to rehearse this? I did this. I didn't do that. Mama did this. Mama did that. Or daddy did that. I mean, it's like, oh, okay, now I got to move on because I can't stay here. I mean, I'm not trying to stay here with you. You know, I'll be a shoulder to lean on for a minute, but okay, we got to go. Why are we still talking about this? So I, it got on my nerves, y'all, for real. Real talk. It was like, okay, so I'm trying to be patient and whatnot, but I also have to understand that I can't allow somebody else's burdens to be my own. How do I, that sounds cruel. If you want to stay there, I can't stay there with you. I can try to help you get out, but I'm not going to jump into quicksand with you because I don't see where that's helping you at all. Okay, so there's certain things we got to get off our chest. But okay, now you done crying? Okay, let's go. Because now you created an idol. Here we go with this idol again. And I'm not going to apologize for about it, guys. Obviously, God wants us to focus on this whole idol piece. So he brought it back up to me today, how we take situations and make idols out of it. We memorialize it, and then we're stuck there. So, idols create sticking points. He gave me this other thing, and we're going to be speaking from, we're going to go to Psalms 34 and 1 today. Psalms 34 and 1. And, but, I understand, and what he revealed to me this week is that we know the enemy goal is to kill, steal, and destroy you and your dreams and your progress and everything that God has for you. That's the goal. And if he can get you stuck, he's eliminated the threat. He's stopping you from developing. Developing is the word of the day, guys. I'm a developer. You are developers. And if you know anything about developments, whether you're talking about land development, private development, software development, it's all about developing the dream that you have, or completing the assignment. Um, let's go to Psalms, and we're going to I'm gonna come back to that, the whole development piece. Let's go to Psalms 34 and 1. Let's go. 34 and 1. I will extol the Lord at all times. His praise will always be on my lips. I will glory in the Lord. Let the afflicted hear and rejoice. Glorify the Lord with me. Let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he answered me. He delivered me from all of my fears. Those who look to him are radiant. Their faces are never covered with shame. This poor man called, and the Lord heard him. This poor man called, and the Lord heard him. He saved him out of all of his troubles. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him, and he delivers them. And 8, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the one who takes refuge in him. I think the King James Version says, oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. This scripture speaks to me because it says, glorify the Lord, or some rendition says, magnify the Lord with me. In other words, let's make the Lord big and not the issues. Magnify the Lord. Make whatever that is bigger in your eyes, so that's all you see. Make it bigger. So as we're talking about idols, the problem with idols is they were magnifying the idols. It doesn't say, oh, magnify Baal with me. It doesn't say, oh, magnify Asherah with me. Oh, it doesn't say, oh, magnify Molech, the detestable God, with me. It doesn't say that. It says, oh, magnify the Lord with me, the real God. Don't magnify or sensationalize things that are not important, because they are developer killers. Talking about developers. So this individual I was talking to the other day, they're stuck. They're not developing because they've hit a limit in their minds, and no matter what goes on, they go back to that time and space, and they're not able to progress or develop in life because they're stuck there in the past, in these memories. They've memorialized this time in their life. They've idolized this time in their life. They're magnifying the wrong thing. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, not magnify the idol, the situation, that period in time. See, so let's talk about memorials. We remember when the Israelites were crossing the Red Sea. I believe it was the Red Sea, not the Jordan, Red Sea. And it was the Jordan, I'm sorry. He had, once they got across, he told them, one person from every tribe, the 12 tribes, to go get a stone. And what they did, once they crossed over, they put the stone up, they created a memorial, meaning they created a moment in time. They memorialized a moment in time to get them to remember where God brought them from. Because we're a forgetful people. Hear me. We are a forgetful people. So we have to create situations to celebrate so that we don't forget where we came from. The problem in memorials is the devil, once again, Satan. His job is to uproot and to stop the development. So if he can get you, let me give you an example. The whole goal in when Jesus died on the cross for us, we call it Resurrection Day. It's the day that he was resurrected. Okay, he went down and he came back up. He was resurrected. The enemy, that day was made for us to remember. He died for us. Now the enemy would have us believe and wants to call it Easter, and we know that's a pagan word for the god of fertility. And we memorialize it with Easter eggs, Easter bunny. The whole Easter and the bunny is supposed to be from a fertile perspective. It's hear me out. It has nothing to do with resurrection. That's why those of us the seasons like to say, when somebody say Happy Easter, we say Happy Resurrection Day, because we're trying to get the conversation to go back to what it was originally set up for, because if not, you'll get stuck in thinking you have every Easter, you're going to run out and get Easter baskets. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I don't want all the negative comments. I don't care. But it's not about the Easter bunny. It's not about Easter eggs. It's not about a basket with gifts, but it's not about that. It's about remembering who died on the cross for us. It represents that time. We're memorializing what happened so we can remember to progress us, so we can continue to develop, not to get stuck. Because if we start to embrace Easter, we're stuck. I'm trying to paint a picture. Let's talk about Christmas. We know Christmas represents the day that Jesus was born. We memorialize it and we created a holiday out of it for us on that day to celebrate the day that Christ was born. what represents his birthday. It was not meant. It was not meant for you, me, the retail systems. We make it everything but Jesus now. If you notice, they even try to take Christmas out of it and they want to say Xmas. The whole goal is to get you not to recognize or remember what it was originally about, but get you caught up in the hoopla of the holidays. That's that week or so we take off and we're all off work and we're buying gifts. Guilty, been there. We all done it. And we get so caught up in buying gifts and making sure the grandkids got this. And when I had kids, making sure each one of them had some on the day so they can open up the gifts and presents. And nobody even was really paying attention to, wait a minute, why are we diluting this day with what the retail system wants us to do? Once again, the enemy who runs this world, who created this system in the retail system and everything goes along with it, is trying to get you to focus your attention over here and not over here. He doesn't want you to remember that what Jesus' birthday was. If you remember, the enemy, once again, he's trying to stop development. If he can get you stopped in your mind, he can stop your development on realizing who you are and what the real goal of us being here is for. He wants you to idolize Christmas, the day everybody gets gifts. He wants you to idolize Easter. Excuse me, he wants you to idolize Xmas, not Christmas, because he don't want you to talk about Christ. He don't want you to talk about Easter. He wants you to talk about Easter, not Resurrection Day. He's trying to distract you from what your goal was. Oh, magnify the Lord. He wants you to, oh, magnify Easter. Oh, magnify Xmas. I'm trying to be simple with this. Real simple. The goal is to stop your development, because if he gets you to focus on the wrong memorials and the wrong idols, he got you. He can prevent your development. Remember the whole goal when Jesus was born. Excuse me, when Jesus was born and the Herod was trying to eliminate all of the male babies at the time in order to kill Jesus. That was Satan's plan. He was trying to cut it off at the head. He's trying to prevent Resurrection Day. He was trying to stop it at its inception so Resurrection Day could never happen. He was trying to stop development. Hear me. I hope this is making sense. He was trying to stop the development. He didn't want Jesus to grow up. Let's kill them all. They went to the extent to kill all of the babies at this time. It happened with Moses. That's why he was upriver. They was trying to prevent Moses from becoming and developing. They was trying to prevent Moses as a baby from becoming. They was trying to stop him from developing, to stop it before it ever starts. So there's many different ways that development is halted. Legal ways, illegal ways. If they can just trick you in the mind to prevent you to eliminate yourself, stop development. Suicide stops development. See, he corrupted the mind and have you think you're hopeless. There's no reason for me to be here. It's a development killer. That's why abortions are not of God. Because God understands that, yeah, if you can prevent the seed, look at all the developments that were stopped due to abortion. God doesn't like it, guys. He understands that, he understands back in the biblical days that they were sacrificing children. Yeah. They were sacrificing children to stop development. I'm going to take it a step further. You know who the sons of God are. You know that there was a point in time where the sons of God came down and they were taking human women and corrupting the seed. You know why that was? Because it was devil's attempt in those days to corrupt the bloodline to prevent a to prevent the bloodline of Jesus from being started. He wanted to corrupt it because he knew that it had to be pure. So they even went as far as the devil, Satan, went as far as to have fallen angels sleep with human women to corrupt the bloodline. That's why God had to come down and have the flood to undo what was done, because it was the plot of the enemy at all costs to stop resurrection day, to stop development. So I'm going to go back to my original story. The individual I was talking to that I'm saying was stuck. And there's many ways you get stuck. But if you find yourself can't move forward because you're stuck in the past, you got to understand, whether it be you, me, or someone you know, it's heartbreaking to see someone you watch, man, they're stuck. I got to get them unstuck. God, give me revelation on how to speak to them so I can break this thing from them because they're stuck. They have allowed the enemy to hold them in time. They're not developing. We're all developers, or supposed to be, unless the enemy stops it. Developing is understanding who you are and where you're to go, and you put things in place to get there. A development stopper is anything that stops you from getting there. Whether it be abortion, whether it be murder, whether it be suicide, whether it be just having you memorializing a time frame in the past that's long gone that you still want to hold on to. It's gone. Let it go. Don't memorialize things that's not meant for your development. You can more memorialize it like we do Resurrection Day, like we do Christmas, to celebrate and help us propel our future. But if your memorial is holding you back, you're stopping development. You got to understand, that's not good. Let's magnify the Lord. See, we're making once again, I'm trying to make it as plain as I can make it, as simple as I can make it. We take things, the wrong things, and we magnify it, opposed to magnifying the Lord, like Psalms 34 is talking about. Oh, magnify the Lord and taste and see how good it is. Oh, magnify, find your comfort in magnifying him. Don't find your comfort in things of the past. Don't find your comfort in things that are not of God. Don't get tricked into idolizing something that should not be idolized. Once again, we serve a jealous God. We serve a God that understands that the only thing that you should be idolizing or memorializing is me, or magnifying is me. Oh, taste and see how good he is. Seek ye first the kingdom, and all will be granted. Seek first the kingdom. Magnify the Lord, and all will be granted. Hear me on this day, guys. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. I'm not trying to go deep, but the enemy is trying at all costs to stop your development from you understanding who you are. Because if you understand who you are, you have power. We're all familiar, and you've heard me talk about it before, about the movie The Matrix. And the beauty in the movie The Matrix, or the parallels, and what I'm trying to say to us now is, if you remember, the whole goal was to stop Neo. Once Neo understood who he was and that he was the chosen one. See, I'm Neo. You're Neo. The enemy, first of all, Satan, First of all, the sentinels or the agents, the minions. Let's call Neo you. Let's call the sentinels and the agents the devil and his minions. Let's look at it like that, okay? So if you know the movie, the whole goal was the agents were trying to stop Neo, trying to eliminate him because Neo was working out and practicing and understanding who he was and the power that he had. And at that point, he was a threat. See, you're not a threat when you're just going to live the status quo. Okay, so for my nephews that need me for me to break it down and make it simple for them, you're Neo. Once again, you're Neo. Okay, the enemy doesn't want you to understand that you have power, so he sets roadblocks for you to trick you. To trick you to idolize other things or not focus on certain things and not get you to develop. Because once you develop and you get an understanding, oh, I have power. God died for me. Jesus died for me. I have power within that. He doesn't want me to tell anybody else. He doesn't want me to spread this word. He doesn't want me to spread my wings and be as powerful as I can be. He's trying to stop me. Young man, young woman, nephews, nieces, that's the goal, is to stop you. So when you hear me talking about, oh, magnify the Lord, because the enemy knows if you magnify the Lord, you're going to get an understanding of who you are. If you make him your focus, you gain strength. You become powerful. See, the whole goal was not wanting Neo to understand that everything that he saw and touched wasn't real. They didn't want him to be able to see through the matrix and see who was really behind the scenes. See, once you're Neo and once you understand who you are, see, the scales come off your eyes and now you can see past. Oh, that's not a wall. That when I'm looking through the wall, oh, those are enemies back there. Wait a minute. None of this stuff is really real. None of this stuff is meant for my good. It's just a fraud. See, the enemy wants you to, once again, live the American dream. Fall into suit and do what everybody else is doing. Don't be a threat. Don't understand who you are. Don't try to get past and see past anything other than what I want you to see. That's why we have to be careful about what we listen to on the news, because it's all choreographed. They want you to think a certain way. Understand? That's why there's so much confusion. They just want you to give up and just, you know what, I'm just so scared and I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to do it. That's what he wants. He wants to get you stuck. When you're stuck, you can't develop. Does that make sense?